Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new album from Gwydion, 13. It's the band's 4th studio album, comes out July 6th, and it has 12 tracks, 54 minutes in length. Having said that, the first track is an intro track into the album. It's called Heathen, and then there's an instrumental track in the middle of the album called Under Siege that really lays itself to be the intro track of the following song on the record. Now, as far as this whole record is concerned, I really feel like this album marks not only a step forward in growth, but also a step forward in maturity of this band. I really feel like not only lyrically, but musically, this album is light years ahead of the previous record. It really shows how much this band has grown and how much they have improved in their sound, in their lyrics, and in the way they construct songs. This album, in my opinion, is perhaps the band's best album to date. I was really blown away by how good everything surrounding this album was, from sound mixing, production, lyrics, music, solos, the arrangements. Everything in this album was done nearly to perfection. I mean, it's really hard to say that it's perfect because nothing is perfect, but it is one of those albums that we will look back a few years from now, or 10 years, 20 years from now, and really say that this album perhaps marks a turning point for this band and where they're going to go with their sound. The album really mixes a bunch of different genres. I would say there's two genres that are predominant, and then there's one that's underlying. The two predominant genres of this album is really folk metal. You can feel a lot of folk influences in the album, which was very predominant in their previous works. Almost a little bit of Alestorm, if you will. There's a lot of Alestorm influences on the folk side. And then the other heavy influence on the album is a melodic death metal influence, and I feel like the influence is coming from the Amon Amarth side of that genre. This is a band that always dealt with Viking themes, with Viking folklore, and this album is no different in terms of the storytelling aspect. Where things go differently is in their sound and in the quality of the lyrics. So in their sound, like I said, those are the two main influences. I would say folk metal and melodic death metal, but then there's an underlying black metal influence to it. It kind of reminded me of the first album from Moonspell, or the earlier albums from Moonspell. So there is a little bit of black metal influence, but that's very underlined. The main influences are definitely folk metal and melodic death metal. This is a much heavier album than the previous album. Still has the folk influences in it, but it's a predominantly melodic death metal album more than anything. This is not, to me, this is not an album that represents Viking metal. This is an album that's a melodic death metal album that touches on Viking themes. That, to me, is the best way to really describe this album. The album takes you on a lyrical journey. It really takes you on the journey of the Viking history of when it all started in 793. So, you know, it really takes you from song to song in the journey of the Vikings, in the history of the Vikings, in the folklore of the Vikings. And they did it really well in terms of the storytelling aspect of the album, the way they put the songs together. They incorporated something in this album that I really feel that improved the storytelling aspect of the album itself, and that came from the vocal side. The vocals in this album are absolutely dynamic and very in a really large range. I really like what they did with the vocals because it really allowed for the storytelling aspect of the music of the songs. The songs are predominantly with harsh vocals, but they did use clean vocals. They used choirs, and they used narrators. So the vocalist of the band was able to use harsh vocals when the song really called for. When the song was more dynamic, was more aggressive, they really called for those harsh vocals. He was able to use more clean vocals when there was more mellowed out parts of the storytelling aspect. And then he was able to also use his vocal range to almost be the narrator of the story. So that, to me, really created a really cool dynamic in the songs. It really gave life to the album, and it really gave life to the storytelling aspect. It really felt to me that you were listening to an audio book where the music is the soundtrack of that audio book. because the way they incorporated these different vocal styles really lent itself to really feel like there was almost different people telling the story, different characters telling the story with the addition of the narrator. I really like that dynamic. It really fit well in the songs, and it really fit well with the heaviness of the music. Like I said, this is perhaps one of their heavier albums, at least from the more recent ones, definitely one of the heavier albums. Now, as far as my favorite songs are concerned, I picked 3 different songs to give you guys an idea of what to expect from the whole album. The first song that I picked was 793. I really feel that's the second song on the album, and I really feel that song really sets the tone for what the album is going to be. One of the heavier songs of the album, a pure melodic death metal song, if you will. There's barely any folk influences in the song at all. This is really an homage to Amon Amarth, if you will. It's really a heavy melodic death metal song with a Viking theme. I absolutely love this song. I love the vocals. I felt that the vocals in this song really added to the aggression, to the storytelling aspect of the song. But more important to me, it really brought anger and the Viking fighting spirit. It brought that to life. The vocal performance in this song really brought that to life. Also, the grooviness of the guitar riffs in this song is absolutely incredible. It alternates a little bit of heavier riffs with more groovier riffs, and then there's also a little bit of black metal influences in there that provides the song with enough of a little bit of a dark tone and a dark vibe to the overall feel of the song. One of the most powerful, heavier songs of the album, an absolute gem of a song. What a great way to start the album, by the way. Another song that I have to mention, this one more from the folk side of things, is Balverk Warfare. This is more of a folky song, more in line with songs that they've done in their previous 2 records. So this song falls more in line with the Alestorm side of the influence that this album really brings to the forefront. This has more of a folky guitar riff vibe throughout the whole song, and it creates more of a feel-good song, more of a different, gives the song a different dynamic. But this song really mixes great guitar melodies with a really good vocal delivery to really give you a very cool, fast tempo, fast paced, folky song, but that's still heavy enough. And it's not as heavy as 793, but it still has a mixture of really folky guitar riffs with a few heavier riffs. So there's still a little bit of an undertone heaviness to the song, but it's overall a more light-hearted, folky song. Last but not least, 13 Days. Now, this song is a pure Viking anthem. They used a choir in this song, and I absolutely love all those voices coming together. It adds volume, it adds thickness, it adds layers to this song. It really creates an epic anthem of a song. This is one of those songs that has to be played live because everybody's going to sing along with this song. This is the equivalent to Raise Your Horns from Amon Amarth as far as an anthem is concerned. Not as heavy as that song, is a more it's a melodic death metal song. There is heavier aspects to it, not super heavy, because the emphasis on this song is not really on the guitar riffs and the heaviness of the song itself, but rather on the vocal delivery and on delivery of the choir that really throughout the song, at the start of the song and in the chorus of the song, really adds volume, adds presence, and really makes for a song that's a pure horns up anthem of a song. I absolutely love this song. I love how they put it together. It really fit that anthem of a song, but that choir that makes that anthem of a song really fit well with the lyrics of the song, and it really brought the song to life. It really gave life to the song. This is one of those songs that it's impossible for you to not rejoice with the energy that you get from a song like this. It's really an anthem, and it's really a song that I would be looking forward to seeing them playing live, because I really feel that it's going to get all the crowd behind them with a song like this. Absolutely beautiful, melodic, still heavy at times, but then, like I said, that choir really makes the song into an anthem more than anything else. This is it. This is Gwydion 13, their 4th studio album, out July 6th. Pick it up. It's really worth it. This is really an incredible album, and the band, I think, is it's taking a stand and making a much heavier album than what they've done in the past, at least in the previous one. But I think the fans are going to enjoy it because this is an outstanding metal album. This is really a melodic death metal album about Vikings and not really a Viking or a folk album. It has influences there, but that's not what the album is about. The album is really a melodic death metal album that tells the story of Vikings and their folklore. Let me know what your thoughts are about this album in the comment section below. I will be checking those out and replying back as usual. Take care, guys.